a man who changed the world with a smile. Picture this: a young man from Buenos Aires, dancing the tango with his girlfriend, scrubbing floors to make ends meet, and dreaming of a life bigger than himself. Now imagine that same man, decades later, standing on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, waving to millions as the first pope from the Americas. This is the story of Jorge Mario Bergoglio, known to the world as Pope Francis, a man whose humility, humor, and heart have touched billions. From his working-class roots to leading 1.4 billion Catholics, his journey is one of grit, grace, and a few good laughs along the way. Who traded luxury for simplicity, faced global challenges with courage, and never forgot how to smile. Let's dive into the extraordinary life of Pope Francis. Chapter 1: The Buenos Aires Boy. Jorge Mario Bergoglio was born on December 17, 1936, in the lively Flores neighborhood of Buenos Aires, Argentina. The eldest of 5 children, he grew up in a tight-knit family of Italian immigrants. His father, Mario, was a railway accountant, and his mother, Regina, a homemaker who instilled a deep Catholic faith in her children. Young Jorge was no stranger to hard work. As a teenager, he swept floors at a hosiery company and later worked as a chemical technician after earning a diploma from a technical school. But life wasn't all work. Jorge loved the tango, often dancing with a girlfriend in his youth, and was a passionate fan of the San Lorenzo Soccer Club, a loyalty he carried to his final days. At 21, a severe bout of pneumonia changed everything. Doctors removed part of his right lung, a health scare that brought him face to face with mortality. During his recovery, Jorge felt a calling to the priesthood. On September 21, 1953, while confessing at his parish, he experienced a profound moment of grace that set him on a new path. By 1958, he joined the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits, known for their intellectual rigor and service. Chapter 2: Rising through the ranks. Jorge's journey as a Jesuit was marked by discipline and dedication. Ordained a priest in 1969, he served as the Jesuit provincial superior in Argentina from 1973 to 1979, a turbulent time during the country's dirty war. His leadership was tested as he navigated the dangers of the military dictatorship. Stories later emerged of his quiet heroism, sheltering dissidents on church property and even giving his own identity papers to a man fleeing persecution. These acts, shared by biographer Sergio Rubin and former judge Alicia Oliveira, paint a picture of a man who acted with courage behind the scenes. By 1992, Jorge was appointed Auxiliary Bishop of Buenos Aires, becoming Archbishop in 1998 and a Cardinal in 2001. Known for his simplicity, he cooked his own meals, rode the bus, and lived in a modest apartment rather than the Archbishop's palace. His focus on the poor earned him the nickname the Slum Bishop. In 2005, he was a runner-up in the papal conclave that elected Pope Benedict XVI, a sign of his growing influence. Chapter 3: Becoming Pope Francis. In February 2013, Pope Benedict XVI shocked the world by resigning, the first pope to do so in nearly 600 years. A conclave of 115 cardinals gathered in Rome, and on March 13, 2013, Jorge Bergoglio was elected the 266th pope. He chose the name Francis, inspired by Saint Francis of Assisi, after his friend Cardinal Claudio Hums whispered, "Don't forget the poor," during the conclave. At 76, he became the first Jesuit pope, the first from the Americas, and the first non-European pope since the 8th century. From the start, Pope Francis broke tradition. He declined the ornate papal apartments, choosing a simple suite in the Vatican guest house, Casa Santa Marta. He swapped the bulletproof Pope Mobile for a Fiat, joking that the armored version was like a sardine can. On his first Holy Thursday as Pope, he washed the feet of inmates at a juvenile detention center, including women and Muslims, a radical departure from papal protocol. His motto, Miserando ad elegendo, by having mercy by choosing him, reflected his mission of compassion. Chapter 4: Achievements that shaped the world. Pope Francis's papacy was defined by bold reforms and a focus on the marginalized. His 2015 encyclical Laudato Si was a groundbreaking call to action on climate change, linking environmental destruction to economic injustice and earning praise from scientists and activists alike. Vatican Laudato Si. In 2019, he became the first pope to visit the Arabian Peninsula, signing a historic document on interfaith fraternity with Grand Imam Ahmed El Taib. His 2022 apology to Canada's Indigenous peoples for the Catholic Church's role in residential schools was a landmark moment of accountability. He tackled the clergy sexual abuse crisis head-on, defrocking former Cardinal Theodore McCarrick in 2019 and abolishing pontifical secrecy in abuse cases to aid law enforcement. His 2016 exhortation Amoris Laetitia opened doors for divorced and remarried Catholics to receive communion, sparking debate but reflecting his pastoral approach. Francis also championed migrants, famously calling for an end to the globalization of indifference during a 2013 visit to Lampedusa, where he prayed for refugees lost at sea. Chapter 5. The lighter side of Francis. Despite the weight of his role, Pope Francis's humor shone through. As a young man, he worked as a nightclub bouncer in Buenos Aires, a job he later laughed about, saying it taught him to deal with all sorts. In 2013, he donned a red clown nose while greeting members of a charity that uses clown therapy, delighting onlookers. His love for soccer led to funny moments, like when he received a San Lorenzo jersey and quipped, "This is better than a papal blessing." Once, while visiting a hospital, he sneaked out of the Vatican in an unmarked car to pray at a Roman basilica, only to insist on paying his hotel bill from the conclave days, a move that left staff stunned. He was known for his daily prayer to St. Thomas More for a sense of humor, asking God to help him understand a joke and share joy. His ex-account at Pontifex often shared light-hearted wisdom, like his 2014 post, "A Christian is never bored or sad. Rather, the one who loves Christ is full of joy." Chapter 6. The final days. In the early months of 2025, Pope Francis's health began to decline significantly. After being hospitalized for bronchitis in February, his condition worsened, leading to a diagnosis of bilateral pneumonia. Despite these challenges, he remained dedicated to his role, continuing to lead the church and make public appearances when possible. His resilience was evident even in his final days. On Easter Sunday, April 20, 2025, Pope Francis made his last public appearance. From his wheelchair in St. Peter's Square, he delivered the traditional Urbi et Orbi blessing, his voice frail but his message of peace and hope resonating with the faithful gathered below. It was a moment of profound significance, as it marked the final time the world would see him in public. The following day, on April 21, 2025, Pope Francis passed away at the age of 88 in his residence at the Domus Sancti Marthi. His death was announced by Cardinal Kevin Farrell, and the Vatican confirmed that he died at 7:35 Central European Summer Time due to a cerebral stroke followed by irreversible cardiocirculatory collapse. The world mourned the loss of a beloved spiritual leader. Epilogue: a lasting legacy. Pope Francis's papacy was marked by his efforts to bring the Church closer to the people, especially the poor and marginalized. He championed causes such as environmental stewardship, interfaith dialogue, and social justice. His legacy includes numerous reforms within the Church, including his stance against the death penalty and his efforts to address the clergy sexual abuse crisis. As we remember Pope Francis, we recall his words, "The Church is called to be the house of the Father, with doors always wide open, everywhere to those inside and those outside too." His life exemplified this openness, welcoming all with compassion and love. Though he has left us, his spirit continues to inspire millions around the world. Pope Francis may have departed, but his message of mercy, inclusion, and hope endures, guiding the Church and the world toward a brighter future.